Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. This is our Thursday show, but since we didn't do a Wednesday show, I guess it's the Thursday show. Hi, guys. I'm okay. Just had some busy things to do, and now we're talking about. I'm happy, you guys. I'm so happy. I got my Starlink back. When they sent me the message telling me that they were going to, hey, yeah, we're going to take care of you. We're going to give you all your stuff. Just replace it for free. They told me that it would be shipped out on the 16th. And I got it all today. And so it's all in and everything's better. And I'm a happy man. So, yeah, I'm just so happy. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. I guess really this is kind of dramatic related. This is kind of my drama stuff, but it is more important because we have the Andrew Tate sphere, the weirdness that men are looking for some kind of direction in life, and for some reason, some of them are saying Andrew Tate and now his discount version Sneako and being like, yes, this is who I look up to as a man. And it's just disturbing. Like I get it. You need some testosterone in your life. You need somebody out there to tell you it's okay to be a man. But let's be honest. Have you guys seen Andrew Tate? This motherfucker needs to just put on a mesh tank top and get it over with. He would be a lot happier, is all I'm saying, if he just admitted that what he really wanted was to give up women entirely. That doesn't mean he can't teach you how to be a man. You can be a man and be gay, but I mean, you got a lot of pent up aggression there, homie. I've seen you walk, man, and my gaydar just go. Man, I don't know how anybody looks at that guy and goes, yeah, he slays all the puss. It's easy to slay puss when you're throwing money around. Yeah, you're gonna find bimbos who are like, I like money, sure. But that shit don't mean that you're actually finding women who want you for you. Christ almighty. Anyhow, so let's talk. We discussed this just very briefly when the original thing blew up. MoistCr1TiKaL, known as Penguin Zero here on the YouTubes. His name is Charlie. Everybody knows this. I'm not outing him. I'm not doxing him at all. But Charlie got into a beef with Sneako. Now, oh, wait. Hey, Jack, what's up?
What's up, kids?
You're here right in time for me to describe what's going on with this whole Charlie Sneako thing. It's actually quite amusing to me.
But I have heard nothing about this.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Had a really weird dream that I'd like to discuss later.
Okay.
But I do have a couple of Streamlabs I have to grab from previous shows.
Oh, please do.
Thank you, Hunter's wife's cameraman, Hunter Avalone. Thanks for the warning. I'll need to stock up on lenses. I'll talk to Hunter about it tonight. He won't be doing anything else. That's true. He doesn't do anything else, but I'm glad you're attentive. And that came in right after we ended the show the last time I was on.
Sure, yeah.
And also, thank you, Greg Rogers, for the donation with no message. That was a feminist $12, and I greatly appreciate it. Sorry I wasn't on that episode.
Okay, hang on. I got a donation that just popped through from Evolved Potato. Come on, load up, damn it.
Boop. Nope, you're not its boss.
Boop. I am, though. I am the master. Never mind. Evolved Potato, thank you. Did you see Tate when he couldn't shave his head for a few days? That hairline is bad. The pictures of him in prison, and look, I don't know if he did it or not, but he looks like he's getting ready to play a pedophile in a TV movie. And I'm not saying he's one. I'm saying that's what he looks like. He looks like they're prepping his candy van for an after-school special. That's what it looks like. I see why he shaves his head, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it. Not everybody looks good bald.
Whew. That is not a good look, man. Not a good look. But look, he can't help how he looks. He's just ugly, man. That's why he shaves his head so he can look a little bit more attractive.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Look, when you're at that stage where you're like half bald, that's the worst stage. As somebody who's losing their hair, trust me. Especially if you've got the widow's peak or if it's unevenly going. Like, thankfully, I'm lucky enough my hairline was all going fairly evenly. But there are some guys that get like that spot in the back and the widow's peak, and that is just sexual doom.
Have you seen Tate?
No. I know he was growing his hair out, but I don't know beyond that. Hi, Mickey.
He's on the screen right now. This is what Tate looks like at the moment.
Oh, yeah, that's horrific. He looks like Shia LaBeouf doing a serial killer movie.
Right? I mean, it's not a good look.
It's the combination of the hairline and the beard.
Look, I realize that their due process over there is bad, but so is their. I mean, let the guy I get it. You don't want him to have a razor, but at least, have a barber or something for him. Shit.
Yeah. It wouldn't be as bad if he just had the hair and not the beard, or he had a really neatly trimmed beard. Then it would be fine. But the combination together really highlights the baldness, and it looks... the puffiness of the beard just isn't helping. Shiloh Gacy.
And again, I'm not commenting on his guilt or innocence because I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's starting to look like a bit of a frame up, but who knows?
Well, from his lawyers, right? I mean, I don't know, and I really don't care. If he did it, I hope he goes to prison. If he didn't do it, I hope he gets out. But
yeah, absolutely.
But we're talking about discount Andrew Tate tonight. We're talking about the $5 bin Andrew Tate. We're talking about Sneako.
I still am vaguely unclear as to who this person is. I know we've talked about him a lot.
Oh God!
But I like block him out of my head every time. He's one of these like men's people, right?
Yeah, he really is. He wants to be Andrew Tate. He started off playing video games and he got some notoriety because he would talk politics and stuff while he played. And then he did these man on the street kind of interviews, and then he decided he was going full Tate and got kicked off of YouTube, and now I believe he's hanging out on Rumble.
Okay. I'm being reminded of that. But yeah. That's somebody I'm just going to lose memory of again because I just don't care.
I do, because it's funny. And a couple months ago, he decided he was going to go after Penguin Zero. And he did it because Penguin Zero, that's Charlie, MoistCr1TiKaL, he made a video making fun of the fresh and fit guys. Specifically, this one guy who claimed that he met a basketball player who took him back to his house and they banged a bunch of bitches together.
Yeah, that sounds made up.
Yeah, and that's what Moist said. I'm just going to call him Charlie. That's what Charlie said, and he makes this video about him, making fun of him, and Sneako got really pissed off. And he makes a video about Charlie where he finds a picture of Charlie with his girlfriend and starts making fun of his girlfriend.
Well, that's mature.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw a video into chat right now. This is where it all kicks off. And I do need to point out, I don't know if he's here right now, but BX Beast Boy just did a video of this a little bit ago. Dude, your timeline is all wrong. It's all wrong, and you need to pay attention to what actually happened here. Who's Sneako? Isn't he from that Dora show, Sneako No Sneaking?
That's what I was laughing at.
So Charlie makes his video in response to this, the one that I just linked, and lets it go. But Sneako can't. Because Sneako is mildly retarded. And by mildly, I think it's actually, I don't know if he bumped his head or something, but you know what? We should just watch Charlie talk about it, and we can pause and if we have to.
Okay, Charlie's name is Moist something.
MoistCr1TiKaL is what he goes by.
MoistCr1TiKaL, that's disturbing.
MoistCr1TiKaL is what he goes by on Twitter and Twitch. Here on YouTube, it's Penguin Zero. Why the difference? I have no idea. I think if I remember correctly, it's because somebody his name, so he went with MoistCr1TiKaL, or it's the reverse that.
Oh, somebody you garbled out. You said somebody already had the name.
Yeah, somebody already had the name, so he had to, let it go. Anyhow,
okay. Well, I guess critically moist would have been a weird one to choose. That's some
I guess,
WAP
yeah.
material.
Or Zero Penguins, neither one of them is a good sound. But anyway, so this is Moist talking about the whole situation.
Hey, Sneako, does this outfit look familiar? This is the same thing I wore last time I took you over my knee and spanked your bottom with some discipline. And I'm
okay. So this is Charlie.
This is Charlie.
Okay,
and
not
Charlie,
a homeless vagrant.
No, actually, a very wealthy man.
Oh, okay, good for him.
Charlie has a really good way. One, he's got very dry humor and his delivery's dry as shit. But he has a really good way of hitting people right where it hurts. And he does this through this whole fucking video.
Oh, I've seen this guy before. Melody Mack talked about him at some point, I think.
Oh, did she?
She's sponsored by G Fuel too. I'm pretty sure they talked about one of them talked about somebody else. I don't fucking know, but I've seen that room before. I don't remember him. I remember the room.
And so that's kind of creepy that you've seen the room before, my friend.
Years of porn have taught me to pay attention to backgrounds.
I've been in that room. All right.
I'm happy to report that these are back in stock and a lot more at MoistGlobal.com. Last time I talked about you, I used you for a merchandise push as well, so might as well stick with tradition. I bet you
see what I mean?
Yeah, that's very mean.
Yeah.
Is that God Slap? What is that, a band or a comic book?
God Slap is a comic book that he's related to. I don't know if he's one of the writers, one of the illustrators, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, let me look that up. Never heard of it.
Seeing me in this attire again has just sent you on a full-blown Winter Soldier episode with your eyes rolling into the back of your skull as you're experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder because the first video I made on you offended you to such a high degree that you have not stopped whining since. It's already been 3 months. Can you believe that? How time flies. You started shit with me by insulting me and my girlfriend out of nowhere, so naturally I responded by making fun of you in return and showcasing the reasons why I don't respect you.
Now, we're going to stop and talk right there. Some of the reasons he doesn't respect him. Sneako is a big fan of the movie Cuties. I'm not making that up. And because of that, Charlie repeatedly called him a pedophile.
That's understandable. Wait a minute, isn't Sneako the guy Adonis Paul makes fun of? It
might be.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever seen him talk about it, but it would be in his wheelhouse, sure.
Yeah, okay. It's starting to sound vaguely familiar now.
Now, for the record, he didn't just like the movie Cuties. It would be kind of rude to just say, I like this movie. I don't find it to be sexually exploitative of children. But that's not what Sneako said. He said, yes, of course it's exploiting children. But that's what we do in society, so it's okay for it to be in this movie.
Is he a Muslim?
I don't know.
Just checking. Just trying to get my facts right. Don't want to make fun of the splody boom booms.
So it's not like he just, you watched the movie and you didn't hate it, so you're pet. No. He admits, yes, it's child exploitation. Child sexual exploitation.
That's real fucked up. You know what else is fucked up? We
What's
need
that?
More likes on this stream.
Get them likes up. Now, the other part about it, actually, I don't think AP has talked about Sneako. Oh, fair enough. I don't know.
Somebody I watched, some commentators ragged on that guy before. I know that name from somewhere.
It's so easy to do. Because the other thing that he gave him a bunch of shit for is Mr. Manosphere, Mr. Control your women and shit. Talks about how he lets his woman bang other people, and not just bang other people. They go to sex parties where his girlfriend bangs other people and he doesn't.
What?
Yeah, including one story where he says he sees his woman getting it and it upsets him, so he gets up and goes to the bathroom and she follows him in there. and they start doing it, right? And then while they're doing it, some other people come in, and one of the guys gets down there while he is banging his girlfriend from behind and starts performing cunnilingus on her.
What?
Yeah. So, and he's like, I mean, I could feel the hair brushing against my eyelash, so I had to move. Dude, there's no way in hell your balls were on this guy. It's just,
this sounds really gay.
But yeah, and he says every guy should watch his woman get plowed, not his woman, but their woman get plowed, so you can find out if it's true love or not.
Oh, that's apex, I guess.
That is apex right there.
You know what? I can live with the mystery if that's the standard for love.
Right? You don't know if it's real love unless you've watched her get banged. There's video out there of him talking about it. It is fucking ridiculous. And the fact that people look at this guy as an example of what men should be, for fucking real? What is it with all of these man guys who their women are out there fucking other people?
I don't know. I find that a very disturbing trend we've discovered on this front.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. JK, thank you so much. Evening, guys. I realize you prefer Streamlabs, though due to my card being programmed here, it's my option. I don't carry my other card routinely. Not a fan of Susan Wiki or her successor. I enjoy your show. Thanks, you two. Thank you so very much for that.
Thanks for the support, Jay. Appreciate it.
Look, again, the reason we like Streamlabs is because it's immediate. It's not. There's no other reason, honestly, because everything else gets hit too for different processing fees. But like this donation, I won't get till the end of next month. I appreciate it. I love you for it, and it helps me then. But please never apologize for which way you do it. Anything is appreciated.
Yeah, don't apologize for giving us money.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And yeah, I'm with you on the Susan Wiki thing, but her successor, we'll have to talk about him one night, Jack, because I'm not all right with him either. Understatement, thank you. People are being somewhat unfair. 3 things can be true. Sneako's a clown. Sneako's young and latches onto any strong influences. Also, Sneako looked these actions before his hard red pill pivot, so it's unfair to accuse him of still being a cuck without proof. I didn't say he was a cuck still. I said he did say that men should do this, and this wasn't that long ago. Don't act like this wasn't before, or like he hadn't already started down his red pill path. It wasn't that long ago. Anyhow, the dude is a clown, though. I'll give you that much. And yeah, he does latch on to pretty much anything. He used to work with Mr. Beast, dude.
Maybe that's where I've heard his name before, associated with Mr. Beast. I don't know. I don't really know most of these giant YouTubers.
All right, so let's get back to Charlie here.
But unfortunately, I failed to calculate just how much of a sensitive fucking loser you are, because this hurt your feelings to such a high degree it's become like an Armageddon in your brain. 3 months you have continued to melt down about this. The day after I posted my response, he went on stream and had a huge unhinged tantrum and meltdown about the whole thing, and then he sent some of his viewers over. So I was joking with this.
If you guys are wondering, yes, Sneako there is absolutely dancing, holding a gun. We do not condone this. You got to put that out there. Flashing weapons to make yourself look like a badass. You're going to end up shooting your foot, dude.
Real quick. Thanks, Alan, who says, hello, Jack. Hi, Alan. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well.
Pyrus says, why can't YouTube pay you instantly? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. YouTube pays you the month after the month that you get the donation.
And that's if you hit the threshold. If you don't reach the threshold for the payout, you have to wait till you do.
It's the month after, yeah. Or the month after. Or yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So wait, this guy that looks a lot like a discount version of the dude that played Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Thank you. He looks like John Leguizamo.
Yeah. That's his name. He looks like the bargain bin version.
Yeah. He's bargain bin all around.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, he got so mad at MoistCr1TiKaL's response. This is how he responds.
Him saying like, "Oh, you guys must have just stopped the Cuties watch party over there at Sneako's stream, right? Welcome, cucks," that kind of shit. And it got really under his skin in a big way. So he started dancing around with a gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, "Oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you," waving his gun around and dancing.
You want to watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want to?
This is what passes for entertainment with the manosphere.
Yeah, shit trigger discipline.
I'm just gonna leave that hanging. Thank you. This is Kyle for that feminist $12. Hello, chat people, Monkey and Jack. I've got nothing to say, so have to Jack. Well, thank you. Oh, don't worry, guys.
Thanks,
Don't get ahead of the video. I see what you guys are saying in chat. Do not get ahead of the video.
You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching. You were?
Now, the reason he keeps saying "watch my clips" while threatening me here is because during the stream I couldn't watch him live because he just kept shouting slurs. So I said,
See, again, you're so funny. This Sneako dude's a clown, man. I'm glad that was the word somebody else used because he is. He's just a fucking clown.
Well, again, that lends credibility to the John Leguizamo theory because John Leguizamo played clown in Spawn.
True.
It's a circle.
watch my clips to see what I was saying about you. I had to communicate via Twitch clips. And I'm sorry to be that guy. This is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile. You absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips. You absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all...
All right. I just wanted to watch through there because there's some controversy going on about this, Jack.
Why? Wait, is it the gun nerds getting all pissy about clip versus mag? Because let it go, guys.
No, and yeah, based. I agree. No, because Sneako got pushback for when he did it, when he's dancing around with a gun like a retard. But Charlie's not getting any pushback when he pulled out guns. Charlie doesn't actually threaten anybody. Charlie doesn't point the gun at the camera. He doesn't say, "I'm going to come see you," or anything like that. So if people are out there having trouble understanding why there's a difference, there's a little bit. Ministry of Wrong thing.
The gun guru guy put his finger in the trigger.
Ministry of Wrong thing. Thank you, Jack. That's Sid the Sloth, you uncultured dope.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So yeah, there's people mad that there's a double standard. Well, there's a difference in how you present things. Yeah, look, Charlie did that to kind of be like, I have more guns than you and I know how to use them.
And they're probably higher quality.
But yeah,
like don't point your high point at me, boy.
But he doesn't threaten him. That is the biggest difference there. He's just like, you want to show guns? Now, speaking of threatening, Jack, Sneako really, really now wants to box MoistCr1TiKaL. He wants to beat him up in the ring. Couple of things you should know. Charlie's 5'6". Sneako's 6 foot or taller. I forget how tall. And he's been calling Charlie a pussy because Charlie won't go box him. Come on, guy, let's box. Let's fight. And Moist's like, I don't like fighting. You'll probably beat me up. He even says this. You'll probably beat me up if we fought. I don't want to fight.
Yeah, he looks like a yoga instructor.
And that dude is ripped, dude. You should see him.
Yoga's instructors are usually pretty ripped.
But he's tiny. Thank you. This is Kyle. Just call them clipazines to piss everyone off. Well, there you go.
Nice.
So Sneako's calling him a pussy because he won't box him. There is a guy who Sneako has also been in a fight with who's about the same size as Sneako and is offered to box him. And Sneako said, and you can see it in the video. I'll throw this video in too. I threw the original one, the one that starts it all in the chat earlier. But Sneako says he's not going to fight him, you see, because he might lose.
Well, why is everybody's go-to boxing still? Like, get a new one, like a foot race or a chess game.
It's internet tough guy, man. That's all it is.
I know, but it's been done.
It's
the Knoxville thing, it's over. They killed it with the Knoxville thing. Even like the Ralphomania thing, you could have wrestled somebody. That'd have been at least a little different.
Get some wrestle.
Come up with a new contest.
No, because especially if you're one of the manosphere people, how do you prove you're a man? You got to beat somebody up.
No, that's like a child's view of what manhood is.
RJ, thank you. Sneako, an internet tough guy with a laughing face. Look, it's what he's doing out there, man. He wants to go beat up a little guy. And that's the man hero to a lot of guys, man. A cute loving, cuckoldy, fucking I want to beat up little people guys. I bet if he got in a fight with, or in an argument with a midget, he could really take that guy. He just beat him to hell. I don't understand how guys like this become these leaders.
These people are desperate for masculinity. Also, midgets have low center of gravity, and they tend to be kind of compact, so he might be able to do some damage.
The problem comes in a boxing match, at least, with the reach.
No, uppercuts to the nuts, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah, so I enjoy this kind of drama, Jack. I just think it's funny. And if you watch the rest of that video, he just bitch slaps Sneako left and right for like 15 minutes. It's funny as hell. I recommend watching it. You don't have to watch Penguin Charlie. You don't have to watch him if you don't want to. I find him hilarious, but he does have such a dry sense of humor. Ministry of Wrong Thing, thank you. Sorry, I love the guy, but Charlie's "that's not a clip" moment was a low-key "don't threaten me, I have guns too" warning to Sneako. Of course it was. Absolutely. But there's a difference between low-key "I have guns too" and pointing a gun at the camera when you're talking about somebody and going to see them.
Yeah.
RJ, I just read it.
It's subtlety.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Evolved Potato. You know what? I'm sound enough in my relationship that if my woman wants to have sex with someone else, I'm entirely fine with it. As long as it's another girl and I can join, and they mainly focus on me and maybe a bit of kissing between them. Well, I mean, I get that. That seems like a secure relationship.
And you know what? It's good to set those rules up front so everybody knows what's what.
Yeah. And if another wiener enters the fray, nope, you're out.
No additional wieners. I don't understand. Gentlemen, what's with the other wieners?
Yeah. Another dude going down on your woman while your wang's inside of her is that's her cheating and gay. That tongue is gonna hit your dick and balls at some point.
No, he insists. No, it never got that close. There's literally no way for there not to have been contact.
Yeah, I don't know how you square that circle because that area just isn't that big.
And look, it is possible that he didn't get his wiener licked, but at the very least, he was banging his balls off a dude's head.
Yeah, there was some chin contact at the minimum.
There was something going on there, man.
Don't forget to hit the like button, you guys.
If that's what you're into, fine. But how come you don't start your "Hey, let's talk about how to be a man" seminars with that? You know what's really manly? Banging your balls off another guy's head. But anyway, just a little bit of drama because I enjoy this stuff, Jack, and I need some decompression.
Fair enough.
Frosted, thank you. Whistle, too many wieners on the field, 500 yards at least. Anyhow, there's a whole lot of people talking about this one, and I wasn't sure I was going to do it until I saw BX Beast Boys video. Seriously, dude, if you're out there, you need to brush up on what actually happened there. Your boy Sneako's being a dick. If he'd shut the fuck... What BX Beast Boys, like, they both need to stop. That's fine. Charlie hasn't really said anything to my knowledge about Sneako in 3 months until this. But Sneako just keeps going and going and going. And so he finally slapped him back again. So, shit happens. Sneako's a little bitch. Anyhow.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Maybe if it's a plastic wiener and it's never used on me, only woman on women, and stays 3 feet away from my ass at all times, no exceptions. Yeah, get a double-ended dildo so they can both enjoy. And then you get some hot oral loving, or you do their butt stuff.
Look, if there's toys involved, that's fine. And again, I'm with you. We don't touch the monkey butt ever. There's no question about that. That's different than an actual flesh and blood penis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no extra penis. Thank you. There should be a surcharge for that. JB, thank you so much. Money for entertaining, half to Jack. Thank you. That's very, very kind.
Thanks, JB. That's awesome. Appreciate it, man.
Speaking of kind, Jack, I saw this on Twitter today and it made me laugh. So I thought we should have a little look-see at it. Woke mob, a large, well-informed group of people with basic empathy who are compassionate, committed to dismantling injustices and making the world a better place for all of humankind.
This is a joke, right?
Well, I mean, it's unintentionally funny. This is how they see themselves.
Of course they do.
All right, let's start at the beginning. A large, well-informed group of people. Well-informed.
Let's not get carried away with our words here.
As long as basic biology is not a part of it, right?
Yeah.
With basic empathy. Basic, I'll give you. You guys are basic as fuck. But empathy, who are compassionate. I've said this before, going all the way. Shit, Jack, I've been saying this for years and years, but you can hear me saying, going all the way back to the Lords of the Night days. There's a difference. I call it fake compassion. Lying to somebody might make them feel good in the short term. You have a friend who's 300 pounds and they're like, I'm so fat. And you go, you're not fat. Because you want to try to make them feel better, right? But that doesn't actually help them. Saying, yeah, you are kind of fat. Maybe, look, you're not too old to start working on that. It's hard, but you can do it. I know you can do this. You got that in you. That's compassion. No, you're perfect how you are. It's fake compassion that's going to get your friend a fucking heart attack. Thank you, tall person. Happy National Peanut Lovers Day. To you as well. I do like a good peanut. There's a difference between compassion and not wanting to offend, which is what most of this bullshit is. And we're at a point right now where everything offends.
Ugh, that's so offensive.
I know, right? Let's see. Committed to dismantling injustices.
Yeah, right. By creating new ones.
Yeah, as long as you're telling white people that they're all racist, right?
Well, yeah, obviously.
And favoring people based on their race, as long as it's within their woke ideology, then injustice is fine. And making the world better for all of humankind. Do I even have to point out how fucking retarded they are?
No.
I mean, good God Almighty. It just bothers me that they actually think like this, Jack.
I know.
We're the good guys. We're on the right side of history. The fact that you said that out loud is fucking retarded. Jack, you want to talk about a journalist who got fired?
Sure, we can do that.
I don't know this guy. I have no idea who the fuck he is. His name is Ben Montgomery. He works for Axios, and he got fired.
Oh, what did he do? Misgender someone?
No, actually.
Did he actually do journalism? They're opposed to that, it seems.
No, actually, he got He got canned for not doing journalism.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
hang on real quick. Thank you, tall person. Happy International Eating an Animal for PETA Day. I hope that's a real thing, but I'm
Me
eating
too.
some chicken right now, so thank you.
So Governor DeSantis sent out a press release saying that he was going to have a roundtable exposing the DEI scam in higher education. And this journalist thought it would be a good idea to email back, "This is propaganda, not a press release."
Is that what most press releases are?
Well, I mean, they can be, sure, yeah. But a journalist sending back an email saying that he should have wrote an article pointing out like, hey, this is what was said there. And instead, he just went straight to his own bias and got fired for it. And there were a bunch of people because folks on DeSantis's team were like, they're like, oh, so you culture now. Fired for being bad at your job, which
You
a
cut
reporter.
up a lot there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Getting fired for not doing your job properly, for sucking at your job, is not cancel culture.
No,
You got
that's
fired.
just called getting fired.
Yeah, you're bad at what you're supposed to be doing.
It shocks me they actually fired him though.
Oh yeah,
Axios.
I really was too. I mean, Axios at least sometimes tries to do better with this kind of stuff. I don't want to say all the time, but they definitely seem to try. We have a problem in journalism where journalists think that their job is activism. We've talked about, you see these kids going to journalism school. I want to make the world a better place. I want to expose injustice. Your job is to go out there and tell people what's happening. And when you go into it with an agenda, you're not a journalist, you're an activist. Period. A press release is a political opinion. I mean, they could have done it. Hey, Governor DeSantis is having a roundtable, but they explained what the roundtable was. It is DeSantis's opinion that DEI is infecting colleges, and it is. But yeah, they fired his ass over it. No, that's kind of funny, really. Oh my God. Do we want to go into war stuff? I suppose.
I think so. We have to.
So the other day, guys, we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the show. I don't know if we've even had a show since then. The Russians forced down one of our drones.
I have an article on that if you want to read it.
Do you? Which article?
Yeah. That's the one ending in WNX.
It's
Should be
loading
the
up,
second
yeah.
or third one.
WNX. Yeah, I opened the wrong one. All right.
I know
Now,
which one you opened.
never mind. Russian fighter jet bullied U.S. drone before knocking it out of the sky. Pentagon said one of the Russian Su-27 warplanes struck the UAV's propeller, inflicting so much damage that it had to be brought down. Russian Defense Ministry blamed sharp maneuvering for the crash and insisted the jets did not come into contact with the drone or use any weapons. The incident on Tuesday morning was thought to be the first time since the height of the Cold War that a U.S. aircraft was brought down by a Russian warplane. Jag, what are your thoughts on this?
I think if the U.S. was run by more warmongers, we'd be in a war right now.
Yep. There is
that
that.
act of war. I think the Russians did it on accident because they were showboating and fucking around. That's what all the initial reports said. And basically, we just gave them a stern talking to. But they fucked around, and that's how wars start. I've been saying shit like this is going to happen. And we're lucky that our warmonger in chief, because all these fucking clowns want a war. They didn't go to war over it. And they easily could have. They could have used this as a pretense right now.
2 Russian Su-27 warplanes intercepted the U.S. Air Force spy drone before one clipped the UAV's propeller just after 7 a.m., the U.S. European Command said in a statement. Several times before the collision, the fighter jets dumped fuel on the MQ-9 drone and flew in front of it in a reckless, environmentally unsound, and unprofessional manner. Wasn't this over the Black Sea?
Yeah, it's international waters, but the Russians are claiming pretty much all of the Black Sea is theirs. Nobody else recognizes that, but the Russians say it's theirs. So they were dicking around with this.
No,
Same way that China does over South China Sea.
I just love that environmentally unsound.
Yeah, because that's the worst part of this scenario, really. The environment might get sad.
The incident follows a pattern of dangerous actions by Russian pilots while interacting with U.S. and allied aircraft over international airspace, including over the Black Sea, the statement said. These aggressive actions by Russian aircrew are dangerous and could lead to miscalculations and unintended escalation. If you guys start a fucking war because they tap one of our drones, you guys are assholes. I don't know what it's a spy drone, Jack. It's
Of course it is, but you're allowed to have one there. It's international water.
And frankly, I'm kind of impressed if they were able to knock it out of the air without shooting it down. Is that wrong?
No, it was pretty impressive. Apparently, they did some sort of nosedive and accidentally clipped the propeller. That propeller that's on the back of some of those drones.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, how fucking good are you of a pilot that you can do that and not wreck?
Right.
That's actually impressive.
And actually, they probably got very lucky that they didn't do enough damage to their plane, that depending on where they hit it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so,
if you're screwing around like that, showboating, rolling, doing maneuvers, and you clip something, you could lose control very quickly.
Now, Lindsey Graham had some stuff to say about this, Jack.
Of course he did, because he'd love a war.
And I'm actually sourcing Ed Krasenstein here because he's the one where I saw the video. But before we get there, Ministry of Wrongthink, thank you so much. Bullying is bad. That drone's mother is going to be very angry at the next parent military-industrial complex meeting. Indeed. Thank you so much for the donation. All right. So Lindsey Graham over here on Fox News, he's going to talk about it.
Say that if you ever get near another U.S. set flying in international waters, your airplane would be shot down. What would Ronald Reagan do right now? He would start shooting Russian planes down if they were threatening our assets.
I don't think he would. Not over a drone.
Yeah, there's a difference between what Reagan would do. Back then, we didn't have the drones, Jack. It would have been an actual pilot that was shot down.
Yeah, and pilots did get shot down. Remember that one guy, his name is Greg something, got shot down in a recon plane over Russia, and they held him for ages?
Yeah.
Reagan wouldn't have started a war over this.
No.
This is disingenuous nonsense from Lindsey Warmonger Graham. And Biden's team is probably looking for a good distraction away from all the economic trouble, the bank runs, Signature Bank, SVB, and a couple others that recently got downgraded by Moody's, along with the U.S.'s credit rating, by the way. That came out, yesterday? And not to mention the flood at the southern border, rising prices, supply chain issues that are continuing to go on. Good luck finding big bags of cat food. All sorts of problems that we're having domestically. All the gun grabs and other legislation they're pushing. It's a great distraction having a war. So it really surprised me that didn't kick off a major problem. But they could still do it. Gary Powers, thank you.
Remind me to talk to you about him after the show.
Oh, okay.
The number of people who want to start a war and clearly want to start a war is disturbing.
Yeah. Even people like Millie, who is a fucking incompetent halfwit who's putting all this woke shit in our military.
you have liberals and what are called neocons coming together to be like, we should blow up Russia. It's not that we should pick on little guys, Jack, but this is not the same as going into Iraq or going into Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Facing off against the Russians basically would kick off World War III, period. End of story.
Well, they don't seem to grasp that concept, and it's boggling how they're not getting that the Russians aren't going to treat this as a political game like they are.
And war changed with the end of World War II. When we dropped those bombs in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, World War changed.
Yeah.
And if you think we're going to go into another world war and it's going to last 10 years before we settle it down and everybody will just go back to the borders, no, it's not what's going to happen. So please stop fucking thinking that this is, we'll just go beat up on the, no. And I saw people get mad, Jack, because this was called, somebody called it a border dispute and a territorial war. They're like, how can you call it that?
Because it is.
It's literally what it is. The Russians are fighting. They want the Donbass region, which is, if I remember correctly, right on their fucking border.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at a map again since the last time I looked at it.
Well, it's changed a little bit.
This is Kyle. Thank you. Half of them want to make money off the war, and the other half see Putin as the next Hitler that needs to be defeated. I hate both of them. Half to Jack. Thank you for that feminist $12, my friend. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, sir.
We saw the other day, Jack. I don't think you were on the show when I talked about. There was a guy who's like, people who are against the war in Ukraine, they're going to be costing Americans jobs. You just don't like Americans. Because the weapons are manufactured here, Jack.
Yeah, they're depleting our reserves.
His reasoning that we should be supporting Ukraine is for American jobs. Which, if that were the rationale, we should be supplying both sides because we could have twice as many jobs.
You'd think so.
I mean, that would be, if that is your reasoning, that would be the logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Well, the guy said that he should go and fight. Oh, no. Warmongers never actually go and fight.
Oh, that's for the poor. For
all
other
right, Jack,
people's kids.
This next one is just for fun. This is not to be taken seriously because it's fake and gay, to borrow Ray William Johnson's old saying. It's one of those. They're doing a story on TikTok, Jack.
Oh.
What happened on the Tickety Talks?
Oh, is this going to be about that? Oh, sorry.
Mom forgets to pack her own clothes on family trip in viral TikTok.
I saw this. Fucking.
I wanted to bring it up because people stop being stupid. Okay, this is not real. Jack, I have a wife, and I saw the reaction here, and there's no fucking way a wife acts like that. So, can I get to just the video? I think I can if I go here. Hang on, guys. I got to get it loaded up. I meant to load it up before the show, Jack, and I got distracted. Oh, yeah, it's right there. All right. So we got to watch ourselves at TikTok. Pause, you fucker. I hate TikTok, Jack.
You love TikTok.
You would think the Chinese would be better at oh no, never mind.
It's a psyop, first of all. Second of all, you're getting lead poisoning just playing a video on TikTok.
Moms always suffers what it says on the screen.
Dad, you're ready? What?
Why does everybody else have clothes on and you're still in your towel?
Because I'm the mom and I get everybody else's shit together.
That right there. She turns on the light. She turns on the light.
You gotta have good lighting when you're naked.
No woman in the world would do that if she's mad at her husband, especially if she's feeling underappreciated.
Yeah.
She might throw a light at you. But anyway.
And not my own. So I come to the shower, house with nothing. So here I
I
am.
had a super peaceful.
Okay, you went to the shower house, right? And you only had what you brought with you. Why didn't you put your other clothes back on?
I don't get it. Did she go to the shower house just wearing a towel?
I don't know, but if she did, she could come out and get dressed.
I don't know. Most women I know are more worried about getting raped while wandering around wearing just a towel.
Family vacations are never really vacations for moms, sad face. I feel her. No one ever worries about mama, but she got to worry about everyone else. Then he wonders why she's not in the mood later. Dad, step up. The more I watch normal marriage videos, the more I want to be part of a polygamous household with like 4 adults. Why did this make me almost cry? Because you're a pussy. All right, just for the record, what you just watched there is fake as fuck.
Yeah, that's totally staged. It's very obvious, especially when she turns the light on, but her voice acting is pretty terrible too. She didn't sound mad. She sounded like she was pretending to be mad.
She really did, yeah.
I've pissed off a lot of women in my time.
Yes.
And let me tell you, that is not how they talk.
Look, there are times as a parent, especially, and it happens to both. Jack, I went and got fast food for dinner one night. Forgot to order my own. It's a true story.
Dude.
I made sure I got everybody else's because my family is one of those families. Everybody has something. Nobody gets it a la carte, man. Everybody like no onion, add this, not that. Yeah. So I made sure I got everybody's, got home, pulling everything out of the bag, and the bag's empty. I'm like, I did not order for myself.
Yeah, but that's more of a guy thing. Women are a lot more attentive to lists and things like that. Like, oh, we got to make sure everybody has the same bullshit type stuff.
If she's like, I forgot my blow dryer, I forgot to bring panties, I forgot X, Y. No, I forgot to bring literally any clothing. And all of these people in there, like, I can feel it. I understand. Fuck right off.
Yeah, childless people said that. Or crazy people, one of the two.
Well, I mean, there is the whole push. Like, nobody is more underappreciated than the housewife.
Well, yeah, that's the usual feminist talking points bullshit.
Yep.
That's been going on since the 60s.
And that's what this was meant to tap into. And that's why we had to look at it, besides the fact that it's really fucking stupid. But
yeah, it's terrible acting, bad lighting, lame premise, unrealistic premise, and nobody can memorize their lines off of a script, apparently.
No.
They sounded really rigid.
Yeah, and I promise you, if a mom had to do that, went to talk to her husband, there would be a lot of swear words in there.
Yeah, or like, shut up and drive.
Did she not notice she was the one person not carrying a bag at the airport? Well, according to the story, they went home right after that. Yeah, because all they were doing was staging that.
Yeah.
So many points in that to tell you is fake. One, there's no reason for her to be naked. Put on your old clothes. Yeah, they're dirty, but at least you're not running around in a towel.
Yeah. Now, if she had been wearing like filthy clothes and wet hair,
yeah,
and he's like, "Why did you put on your dirty clothes?" Then, okay, that scenario makes more sense. Oh, I forgot to take my clothes. But naked, no. I'd be willing to bet if you look close enough, you could probably see a bikini outfit underneath that towel.
Probably. Cougar says they want women to hate the idea of being a parent in a relationship. Oh, they really, really do.
Oh, absolutely. Women can't be happy as mothers.
Bill Burr's motherhood is the hardest job. Yeah, that's a great bit if you've never seen that one. Spudgun, thank you. Double feminist donation. Thank you for that double feminist donation. Have to Jack. The Hawks want this war to go hot, hot, hot. We're headed to World War III. The fact that the US 86 Nord Stream, they're trying to poke the bear, and I think Putin will hit that point. I don't think Putin wants that war because he doesn't win it either. Nobody wins that war, Jack.
Nobody wins. I think Putin has really tried hard to avoid that. because the rhetoric coming out of their state-run media is pretty inflammatory, but they haven't done anything. I think if it does kick off, his go-to is going to be preemptive nuclear strike.
Which, probably right.
They'll probably take out a small mid-sized city, a small mid-sized like San Antonio or Sacramento, probably a capital or just a large population. But it's going to be awful because I don't think the Russians think that we have the political will to start throwing nukes. They'll drop one or two to test the waters, and then within half an hour they'll know if they got to send any more. But it'll drag everyone in. Iran, China, probably Saudi Arabia, Israel. It's going to be a fucking mess. Everybody that's enemies is going to go after each other. It's going to be awful. India, probably just sit on the sidelines. It'll be a worst case scenario. It'll be awful. Start stocking up on your iodine pills and food now.
I think once they go nuclear, everybody does, and it's over pretty quick.
Probably. It really depends on the political will and fortitude of our people. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if they have the spine to do that in the Pentagon, but at the same time, they'd have to have some kind of response.
I think if they went preemptive nuke, they'd just hit our bases, man. That's the smart way to go if you're going to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
You could hit a population center. You could hit Los Angeles and decimate that California, basically.
Yeah. Alternately, they probably do have a bunch of people already in the country that came over from the southern border. Same with the Chinese. That could just do havoc on our infrastructure and drop an EMP or something, or a dirty bomb, and then it'd be game over either way. But they could cripple us that way, and that wouldn't surprise me at all. But I don't know. I think that the worse things get here economically, the more likely we're going to end up in a major war.
All right, moving along. Let's see what you brought today, Jack.
Oh, I brought so much.
All right, let's see. Oh, before we get to that, I do want to talk. Was it Prop 22? Prop 22 was a California proposition because California decided that all workers, you couldn't have contract workers anymore, Jack.
Oh.
Everybody had to be an actual employee, and this happens in 2019. In 2020, Prop 22 goes up on their ballot, and it allows for like Uber and Lyft and jobs Matt Jarbo would have to still be considered contract employees, so that you're not decimating these businesses that way, absolutely destroying their business model.
Yeah,
and it passes 56%. Goes in front of a federal judge who says it's unconstitutional.
What?
Yeah, said it was unconstitutional because the legislature has the power to set law, not those dirty heathens who vote.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. But the other day, I think it was on the 13th, the appellate court in California, this is not the federal courts, this is the appellate court of California, said bullshit and put it back. So right now, Lyft and Uber workers are able to do Lyft and Uber stuff.
Yeah, gig economy stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the gig jobs are available right now. It's probably going to go to the Supreme Court of California. I'm not sure how they'll rule. Now, the appellate court did strike down one part of the law where it said it takes 7/8 of the legislature to overturn it. They declared that an impossible task, so they struck that part down. But the rest of it they left in place, which is good for California. You guys need more judges who decide stuff like that because your state is fucked up.
There's a lot of idiots running that state. I don't understand it.
Look, you guys run your state how you want to. I don't have to fucking live there. I'm just telling you, y'all are getting screwed. Anyway, Jack, sorry, I'd just seen that story earlier and I'd meant to bring it up, but there's not a lot more to talk about with it. So, federal judge to Biden's DHS, en masse parole of illegal aliens. Whoopsie. In a scathing opinion on Wednesday that questioned the credibility of Department of Homeland Security, U.S. District Court Judge T. Kenneth Wetherell II for the Northern District of Florida. That is a hell of a title.
Right? He sounds like a lawyer.
Has ordered a stop to Biden administration parole plus alternatives to detention. Parole plus ADT. A policy that's been illegally releasing hundreds of thousands of aliens into the U.S., concluding that it violates the Administrative Procedure Act, which governs rulemaking by federal agencies. In Florida versus U.S., the state of Florida is claiming that the DHS is violating the mandatory detention required in federal immigration law by releasing aliens en masse through various non-detention policies. Jack, I just want to segue here real quick. Did you see the story the other day about the illegals all going to Canada?
No.
Yeah, apparently there's this one border area of the Canadian border where 40,000 people a year are going through.
Ooh.
And it's great because there's a video of it and they show 3 different times of people coming through, right? I did the math. 40,000 over a year is like 4 people every hour on average.
McAllen is laughing at you.
One person at the start of the video you see coming up to the border. One. In the second one, you see a small van with like maybe 6 people. And then in the third, it was a family of 3.
Fucking Canada. They're
like,
silly.
well, you guys are bitching about that?
Seriously, one town, McAllen, Texas, is laughing at that very notion. They get that much in like not even a week.
200,000 a year, and that's just what we catch.
Yeah.
Sorry, 200,000 a month, and that's just what we catch.
Yeah, not including the gotaways that they just lowball or the ones they never even knew about.
So I had to laugh at Canada. I don't mean to keep doing that because I'm not being mean to you guys right now. But I do think it was funny. We got to do something about this. Every couple of minutes, a guy shows up.
What are you talking about? It's fine, eh? You hoser.
Send them up to the Great North area, man. Give them land if they settle it.
Yeah, send them up to the Yukon.
Yeah.
Put them in the Nahanni Valley and see if there really is a tribe of headhunters out there.
Anyway, sorry, where are we? The Biden administration claims it has the discretion not to detain aliens, notwithstanding the mandatory language of federal. What the fuck does that mean?
Look, it says it in federal law they're supposed to do that, but it's discretionary.
We have the discretion not to detain them, notwithstanding the mandatory language. You cannot just decide that you're not going to follow the law, fucknut.
Yeah, clearly they can. Duh.
I think. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, duh, they can.
I think the Sneako wanted to be like Destiny, but then after he did the swingers thing, he couldn't get over it, even though he asked her to do it. They broke up, and then he turned into a Tate fan. He was already on his Tate journey when he was talking to Destiny and all that. I saw a lot of him on Destiny. Look, the dude's an idiot looking for a direction, and he's doing what so many do. He is destroying his career when he should be at the place where he's building it and becoming the next Tim Pool. Instead, he's working on becoming the next Ethan Ralph.
Yeah. Look, you have to find something and go with it. This constantly changing what you're doing is really bad for your channel.
Especially when the way you're doing it is in ways you know is going to get you in trouble.
Yeah, that's not helpful either.
Parole plus ADT is the Biden administration name for one of its many parole programs under the General Catch and Release policy, which the Obama administration also used, but which President Trump ended. Because mandatorily, you can't just release them. You know, Jack, this is what I talk about. So we need immigration reform. We see this from every fucking politician. Immigration reform. The only thing that needs reformed is we need some more judges to get through this shit faster. We already have the fucking laws. We're not following them.
Well, they don't like those laws.
These people should be removed from our country. Period. End of story. Like, nah, let them go live with their Aunt Sally, who lives someplace we'll never be able to find them. And then they tell us fucking stories about, oh, this person's been in the U.S. for 20 years. Kick them out. They're not supposed to be here.
They've been evading law enforcement for 20 years. Interesting. Criminals. Send these assholes home. They're a burden on society. We cannot keep doing this.
And it's not just the illegals. We've done this with refugees as well. Mm-hmm. Refugees don't get to live here forever. I remember a story that we read where was this chick who she had been a refugee, but the war in wherever the fuck she was from has been over for a long time. Everything's peaceful there now, but she's been here for so long. I don't give a fuck. We gave you the shelter you needed while you needed it. Go home.
Yep. We've done that with the Somalis, the Iraqis, dozens of other countries. Go home. I'm sorry your life sucks there. Go use what you learned during your time here to improve your home country.
I remember this one specifically from Lords of the Night. It was a woman, I want to say in Connecticut. Don't quote me. I know somewhere in Northeast. And she'd been here, it was 20 to 24 years. And the whole town gathered around because Trump was going to kick her out, going to send her back. Look, yes, she's an illegal, but she's been here for 2 decades. And she built a life and she built a family. She built part of the community and she runs this diner. Like, wait, whoa. How? She can't fill out federal tax forms.
Taxes, those are for citizens.
But the whole you should no. This is her where she lived. This is her country. No, it's fucking not. Get out. You got away with it for so long. We don't say, hey, we finally solved this murder 20 years later. But gotten away with it this long? Fuck it. Just let them go. We don't do that shit. There's no statute of limitations on illegal immigration. You know why? Because every day they're here is still part of the crime. Statutes of limitations do not start until you are done with the crime.
And why aren't the refugees filling out the paperwork to be citizens if they really want to stay here?
Because they've never had to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to go back then.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, but this is America's fault. And specifically American politicians' fault.
Yeah, well, they use these people as pawns. It's pretty gross. They encourage people to come here and loiter, basically, and mooch off our system. You're creating parasites. It's the whole welfare queen problem, just on an international level.
They're squatters.
Oh, absolutely.
Get the fuck out of my country.
Yeah, we helped you when you needed it. Goodbye. Illegals, get out. You're not supposed to be here. You don't get to jump ahead of the line. The Democrats are proposing, the House Democrats are proposing a bill to allow illegals to become citizens. And I think that's fucking crap. I'm so tired of this argument. Why do we let people jump in the line?
Federal immigration law could not be, I want to read this part, Jack, because it is important to the story for those of you who might be feeling a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for here? Sympathetic. Federal immigration law could not be clearer about illegality of what DHS is doing. Section 1225 of Title 8 of the U.S. Code says aliens who arrive without proper admission documents are subject to expedited removal without further hearing or review. In other words, they're turned back immediately. If aliens arrive, illegally claim that they are entitled to asylum because they are being persecuted, the statute says the aliens shall be detained pending final determination of whether their claim is valid, which in the overwhelming number of cases is fraudulent. We've seen a huge increase in the number of people claiming asylum because Democrats went out there and started saying, if you claim asylum, And you'll see this over and over again. They argue, no, these are people seeking asylum. They're seeking economic asylum, and that is not something we grant asylum for.
Yeah, they've got all these NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, telling these people this stuff, and it's all funded by people like Soros and the Democratic Party. It's disgusting, and that shit should be stopped. That's human trafficking, as far as I'm concerned. We need to start treating these people like they are invaders, because that's what they are.
In all other cases, unless an immigration official determines that, as Weatherall wrote in his opinion, the alien is clearly and beyond a doubt entitled to be admitted. The alien shall be detained for removal proceedings. And that's the important part. And again, this is why I keep saying we don't need to change immigration law. It's there. They're just not enforcing it. We have this problem so often, Jack, in this country where we need to update this law. No, we don't. If we fucking followed our laws, most of our problems would go away.
Yeah, but they would rather pass a big omnibus bill under the guise of fixing it, and then it just goes to a bunch of nonsense stuff that has nothing to do with it.
How many times have we seen somebody go like on some shooting spree, and then they find out that this motherfucker had been caught with a gun before in the commission of a crime, which, as far as I know, federal law, that's a 5-year mandatory sentence.
Yep.
Mandatory. And they're like, we're not going to push that part.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't understand how people keep getting shot. We need new gun laws. No, you need to fucking follow the ones we have. Anyhow, moving on. I'm sorry. I get so annoyed at that shit, Jack. Like, we need new laws. Do we, or do we just need to fucking follow the ones that have already been passed? Because 9 times out of 10, it's the latter.
Yeah.
I might be a little angry right now.
Some would say ranty.
You know what I just did, Jack? I just
What's
reopened the Russian fighter one, trying not to open the Russian fighter one. Oh, this is going to upset me.
Probably.
Child rapist awarded $2.5 million settlement for trans surgery after Idaho prison withheld care.
Shouldn't profit off being a kid diddler.
Oh my.
Yeah, this one really pissed me off. I know this is going to be a rough one, and it was borderline. I know.
As long as it doesn't go into deep detail about what they did to this child, we're fine. God damn. A violent sex offender who was incarcerated for the sexual abuse of a 15-year-old boy has been awarded more than $2.5 million in legal fees after suing the state of Idaho for withholding gender-affirming care.
Uh-huh.
The individual now goes by the name Adri Edmo. Edmo filed the lawsuit against the state of Idaho and the Department of Corrections medical provider, Corazon Corrections Healthcare, in 2017 after being denied gender surgeries. Why are we giving certain? No.
Yeah, that was my problem with it. And now they sued and won. I was enraged when I saw this article.
Edmo had also sought a legal name change, gender-appropriate clothing, and transfer to a women's prison. Initially, U.S. Judge B. Lynn Windmill ordered the state to pay for the surgery, ruling that Edmo was at risk of irreparable harm without it. The state appealed the decision, arguing that Edmo uncontrolled mental health issues left the inmate ineligible, as well as Edmo's refusal to participate in therapy prior to surgical removal of the penis to create genitals that gave the appearance of a vagina. You know what, Jack? I'm all for cutting this man's wiener off.
Yeah, well,
I don't believe he deserves a neo-vagina.
No.
You realize that this means there's going to be state-issued dilators, right?
Yep. And people are going to start committing crimes to go to jail to get the surgery paid for.
But the appeal was unsuccessful, and the surgery of the convicted sex offender went ahead at the expense of the taxpayer, making Edmo the first person in the country to receive court-ordered gender confirmation surgery in prison. The wish to be transferred to a women's prison was granted in 2020. Edmo was released in 2021. You raped a child.
He got rewarded for it.
Nobody owes you a fucking thing.
Well, word face the wall comes to mind.
We cannot divert critical public dollars away from the higher priorities of keeping the public safe and rehabilitating offenders, Idaho Governor Brad Little said in a statement in 2019. The hardworking taxpayers of Idaho should not be forced to pay for a convicted sex offender's gender reassignment surgery when it's contrary to the medical opinions of the treating physician and multiple mental health professionals. No. You didn't have to add all that. The hardworking taxpayers of Idaho should not be forced to pay for a convicted sex offender's gender reassignment surgery, period. End of statement. I don't care if every doctor that motherfucker's ever seen said, yes, he needs his wiener inverted. I don't give a fuck. That's something for him to go do on his own after he gets out of prison.
Yep. Don't get rewarded for diddling kids.
But the court disagreed, finding that the denial of care violated the Eighth Amendment.
I mean, see why I was enraged? Yep.
Yep. I'm done with that.
Sorry, I know that one was on the line, but that's not a story a lot of people are talking about. And unfortunately, I think that one is incredibly newsworthy. Because these judges are out of control.
Violated the Eighth Amendment against cruel and unusual punishment.
Yep. That's where we're at in society. We live in a totally healthy society, guys, where we're not run by lunatics.
What a grotesque reading of the Constitution.
That's where we're at now. Activists run this country. Activists and pawns of the Chinese government.
It's cruel and unusual not to give gender reassignment surgery to a fucking pedophile. Oh, hebephile. Is that what it is?
Yeah, hebephile.
Hebephile. To a kitty diddler. Let's just call them what they are. Cruel and unusual punishment. That's fucking disgusting. That is such a degenerate reading of the Eighth Amendment. You know, Jack, I get annoyed already with because no, we can't have a death penalty. Cruel and unusual punishment. When the men who wrote it, they were still hanging people from yardarms and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Now cruel and unusual is denying you a TV.
Yeah. It's cruel and that's a real case, guys, if you don't know that. It was decided it was cruel and unusual not to allow inmates to have access to television. True story. And we've gone from that to gender reassignment surgery.
Yeah. I foresee there being a lot of people going to jail to get the surgeries. And maybe it'd be like some drag queens who probably like story hours.
Was that at the Supreme Court? No, it doesn't look like it went that far. It looks like they stopped after the appeal was denied. My guess would be that it was turned down for review.
Yeah, and they probably didn't have the money to pursue it either. It's not like Idaho's a rich state.
I can feel my blood pressure rising.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I don't like springing those on you, but
no, it is an important story. It's actually fucking disturbing that happened, and got a $2.5 million award for it because They violated the Eighth Amendment. You're such fucking cocksuckers.
I'm telling you, it's shit like this that causes vigilantes. You're gonna see it. I'm telling you. You can predict it.
Pirate's asking the TV case to go to the Supreme Court. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I just remember when it was decided. I believe it was a federal judge who ruled that. It's cruel and unusual not to let him watch Matlock. All right. I got to move on from that. I'm just going to fucking just start cussing.
Oh, I understand.
I have a lot of respect for our Constitution and especially the Bill of Rights. The Constitution itself is mainly just a list of rules for the government. It's the Bill of Rights that actually sets out our protections from them. And to see it misused like that is angering. All right. Canada Supreme Court Justice on indefinite leave after he had a fight in Arizona hotel over his alleged creepy behavior towards female guests while drunk. Oh. So they got their own Kavanaugh? Does he really like beer? Did he put his dick in Debbie's face? Should we not make jokes about Kavanaugh?
I don't know. I don't know. They're funny.
Thank you so much. Quack, quack, emotional support duck. Yeah. Oh, that if ever there was a time for the ducks, it's that. Jesus fucking Christ. There we go. There we go. We'll just bring the ducks out for a minute. So tranquil. Ducks are assholes, though. Don't ever forget that. Kavanaugh was lied about. It's called a joke, Pyrus. I'm just kidding. Anyway, back to our Supreme Court article here. Canadian Supreme Court. By the way, that'll keep playing until the however long it is that I uploaded is done. So I have no idea how long it is.
Hey,
Canadian Supreme Court. Go ahead, you first.
Sorry. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Is it possible to have cruel and unusual punishments to child molesters? Just there's lots of things I'd like to do to those people in Minecraft, of course. I don't think it's possible to be cruel and unusual to certain non-people, because you're thinking that we should be treating these people like people, and they're not. They're demons disguised as people. These are evil creatures.
Just checking. We all know how bad your memory is. I've ranted on the Kavanaugh thing many times. Not that long ago was the last one, Jack. Like maybe a month.
Yeah, it's probably a month. It comes up every now and then.
Canadian Supreme Court Justice Russell Brown is on paid leave after he got into a fight while on vacation. Brown allegedly drunkenly followed guests from the hotel bar back to their rooms, per a police report. The justice was reportedly punched twice in the face during an altercation with one guest he followed. Did a woman punch this guy?
I don't remember who hit him, but it's very Ezra Miller of him to follow people back to their hotel room.
On January 28th, Brown was a speaker at a gala at the luxury Omni Scottsdale Resort and Spa. I have to ask Biden if it's actually a resort. At a name I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Celebrating a former colleagues. Fuck. I think I'm still mad about the last story.
I think so. It's okay.
Colleagues' receipt of the Sandra Day O'Connor Justice Prize from Arizona State University. Following the celebrations, the reportedly inebriated judge approached a group in the hotel lounge and sat with them. That's creepy.
That's super creepy.
Among those in the group was a man identified in police reports as Jonathan Crump, who told the Vancouver Sun that Brown began bragging about his importance as a Supreme Court justice. Dude, it's in Canada. Nobody cares.
Yeah, it's Crump because he likes to hump. No, sorry.
And read aloud from the speech he had delivered earlier in the evening.
Look how important I am.
Do you think he's ever gotten laid that way? Just starts. Those speeches don't tend to be very entertaining.
No, maybe that's how you seduce Canadian women.
You just bore them to death?
Well, I mean, it's not like they have anything exciting to do up there when they're not fending off polar bears.
Jen's in chat. She's a Canadian. Jen, do you get all hot and bothered when some stranger sits down next to you and starts reading a boring fucking speech he gave a little while ago?
You don't know it was boring. There might have been plutonium and ninjas in there.
I know there wasn't ninjas in there. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, Jack. Pills are kicking in. I'm starting to yawn. I'm not tired. So I apologize.
I'm not tired. I'm just sleepy.
Not even sleepy. He said the male was creepy. Crump said the male was touching his female companions and kissing them on the hand. Gentlemen, very few of us can pull off the hand kissing thing.
Yeah. What are you, a Renaissance nobleman? Let's knock it off. It's not cool. Would you like to come to my hotel room and look at my etchings? Ugh, weird.
Yeah, save that for when you're with your woman and trying to be cute. Don't do that to strangers. It's fucking weird. Where are we? Kissing them on the hand, according to police report, which included statements from witnesses who told police they'd asked Brown to stop his behavior. Crump said when they all began to walk back to their hotel rooms, the drunk male said he was going with them and followed.
We're having a three-way. No, we're not.
I watched Sneako. The police report continued. To protect the women and prevent the drunk, creepy, unwanted male from entering the hotel room uninvited, Crump punched the male a few times. I mean, at that point, you're defending your living space. It's a temporary living space, but it's your living space.
And possibly your butthole.
Probably, definitely your butthole. Crump affirmed the contents of the police report to the Vancouver Sun, saying, I told him you're clearly intoxicated.
You sound intoxicated.
Yeah. It worked out perfect for that word, didn't it? And the girls are creeped out by you. He shoved me. I pushed him back. Then I punched him in the face twice and he fell to the ground. The punching, according to the police report, appeared reasonable and necessary given the circumstances. I agree. And no crime was determined to have occurred and no arrests were made. Though police attempted to contact Brown at the time of the incident, he did not respond when they knocked at his hotel room door, and his version of events is not included in the report. He was probably passed out.
Yeah. Well, did you fall asleep or did you pass out?
Yes. The answer to that is yes. Anyway, so he's on paid leave. What? I don't understand what the paid leave thing is in situations like this, Jack. Paid leave while we investigate.
Because they cover for each other. It's a federal job, just like ours.
I guess so.
There's still real punishment when you're in the bureaucracy.
Hi, Nuts. How are you, sweetheart?
Hi, Stargazer.
Did I throw you off by having a show at a somewhat normal time? Oh, my goodness. I hope you were sleeping. We got some good phasmophobia to do tonight.
Ooh.
Depending how tired I am, I might do another one after that. I've been playing so many games lately, Jack, because I've been down. You know, Megatron has fallen many times. Not down the stairs, thank God. Oh, dude, the other day I was walking up the stairs. I took my first step and I stepped with my left leg. And right as I was getting up to where my other foot was no longer supporting me, my knee went, nah. And I fell into the fucking wall hard. Ugh. I've had a lot of those kind of situations, and they've got to me. So I've been playing a lot of video games and resting. Moody's see harder times ahead for all U.S. banks and put 6 on downgrade watch. All right. The bank thing, I'm very curious what the Fed's going to do, Jack.
Yeah, I am too. Because they could really fuck this up bad.
Everybody's expecting them to go up more. And with inflation the way it is, I wouldn't be surprised. And the SBV bank, the whole reason that thing went down was because of the rate increase.
Yeah. Yeah, it tanked their stuff. I think that you're going to see more of that. That they could easily create a cycle of this if they're not careful. They're running out of cards to play.
Yeah.
And the Fed could easily create either stagflation or an infinity loop of banks going out of business and just frightening people. And then you've got a real problem because that's depression territory.
Will you talk for just a moment?
Yeah. If they do quantitative easing, because I've heard speculation that this is going to be how they introduce a digital dollar, and that'll allow for quantitative easing where they just move decimal points around and debt just goes away. Then we'll be Zimbabwe, and nobody will trust our money. So we be real deep shit then. But I can see the dumbasses in charge doing that.
Faithless says you're assuming they're not trying to tank all these banks. No, I'm not assuming anything. I hear you. I don't want to believe that they're that fucking dirty. Because,
Well, I mean, I could see it from both sides because they're either stupid or they're highly incompetent, which pick your favorite of that scenario, or they're malicious.
Here's the thing. What they're doing is what economics 101. If inflation is rising, you raise interest rates to cool it off. That's what you're supposed to do. I've never understood it. I don't get the thinking behind it. It's never made sense to me. I'm not an economist, though. But what they're doing, the raising of interest rates, the only thing that they could have done, I don't want to say smarter, it would have been smarter, was to raise the rate slower, but with the rate of inflation, 40-year fucking highs, we have the we're in a fucking recession, whether they want to call it that or not.
Yeah.
By all economic reasoning, accepted economic reasoning, it was the right thing to do. Maybe they just did it a little too fast. Either way, it is what caused it.
Yeah, and it's going to cause more banks to crumble because of the way they've been doing things. Yeah. But at the same time, like they have a very limited scope. Like they assume this is going to work, so they just stick with that. Should we try something else? No, because we know this works. It says so on paper. Yeah. It says so in our manual. The government thinking is very, very limited.
And unfortunately, it doesn't matter what party was in power. This is what was going to happen as soon as the inflation took off like it did. So, and the smaller banks are going to get squeezed. A bigger bank, that's where the real question comes in, Jack. I was watching Dave Ramsey talk about this the other day. When it comes to SBV, I mean, they were overrepresented by rich people. Something like, without the FDIC stepping in to say we're going to give everybody their money, something like 90% of deposits were not covered. And most major banks, it's 40, I think it was. And even something like, or maybe no, it was like a 20. And then a big bank like Bank of America, they're holding 40 of very rich people. So your mom and pop people aren't going to be really affected much by this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Am I cutting out?
No.
Oh. You cut out just a minute, so I figured it was me.
I just said yeah.
Yeah, but it was broken up. That's why.
Oh, I blame other older boys.
Anyway, it's not going to hit Main Street unless a bank like Bank of America goes down. Not in any meaningful way. What's your opinion on Dodd-Frank repeal in relation to SVB? I don't know enough about Dodd-Frank. I've studied it before, but it's stuff that it was important at the time to conversations I was having, but my brain is taking it out. I have no opinion. I'd have to read up on it again, unfortunately. But when it comes to this, it's hard to say that anything was done maliciously because that is how you do it.
Well,
In fact, sorry, Jay, but if you play video games, that do any kind of economic realism, like you're playing the economy, if inflation rises, you have to increase your interest rates because that'll bring it right down. And on paper, it works. In reality, we just crashed several banks. I'm sorry, Jack, you were going to say.
They're incentivizing banks to put money in very high risk ventures.
Mm-hmm.
In the housing crash, it was in giving out loans to people that didn't really qualify for them.
Well, in the housing crash, it was actually mandated by the government. Thank you, Mr. Clinton.
Yeah, but now it's the DEI initiatives and the ESG stuff. And then you've got like people doing like banks doing like venture capital for like tech startups, stuff like that are very high risk. And now that the interest rates are changing, it does affect those old loans. So they're not getting the return on their investment like they thought they were.
Ebony, I love you. Ebony, thank you so much. How long before you declare war on gravity itself and stab the staircase like Caligula declared war on Neptune and had his army stab the ocean?
Wow, nice. Beautiful reference.
Wasn't it? That's a really good reference. And funny as shit, too.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played. Yeah, so I did this on the last show. I went to move my mouse and accidentally clicked. Maybe I need to change where that button is.
I think you might need to. Yes.
Fuck. Anyhow, let's get to this story. Moody's Investors Service cut its outlook for the entire U.S. banking sector and placed 6 U.S. banks on review for potential credit rating downgrades in the wake of last week's collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. The credit rating firm said it expects more banks will come under pressure after SVB's failure. Why is everybody just noticing this?
They're not just noticing it, they're just now reporting on this.
No, see, going back to the housing thing, I've told this before. The only person I saw call this out, it had to even be a year ahead of the housing crash, was Ben Stein. Ben Stein is a very smart man, and he knows his shit when it comes to economics. And he was calling out, going, this is going to cause a problem. And everybody else was like, I don't see any issue here.
I had a buddy that worked in the banking industry right before the collapse. And he was like, dude, now's the time to go get a loan so that you don't have to pay it back because all this is going to fall apart. Everybody in banking that worked in banking knew this was unsustainable. But nobody wanted to talk about it, especially publicly. Because it's like one of those things, if you mention Satan's name, he'll show up.
Yeah.
It's sort of that. Like, they all knew it was a house of cards, but they didn't dare speak about it because you'll jinx it. And there were a lot of people making a lot of money on it.
This one, whether you could call SVB itself, somebody should have been out there being like, hey, raising interest. And maybe they have, and I just haven't seen it. I don't follow a lot of economic news that closely. But it should have been, from everything we're seeing, that squeeze with the treasury bonds was predictable. Like I told you earlier, probably a year and a half, about a year ago, that they were going to start raising rates right before they started raising rates. And people are like, we don't know if they're going to, they're absolutely going to do it. Inflation's out of fucking control. It's what they do. And that they were going to go up and up and up. Again, I don't follow economic news that close, or I would have been like, by the way, it's going to fuck banks.
Yeah, because it's one of their go-tos every time.
And with as fast as they did it, they did this to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, particularly those with large hordes of uninsured deposits and long-term treasury bonds that have crumbled in value. Moody said it expects pressure on the banking sector to persist as the Fed continues to hike interest rates to combat inflation. See, they're following the model. How about this? Try it. Don't raise rates.
Maybe just let things crash real quick. Yeah,
Or,
Glenn Beck has been talking about this for a long time, Eagle. Nobody listens to him.
And I don't listen to Glenn, so and I don't mean that like I don't listen to Glenn. I don't watch Glenn very often. So again, there's people who could have been. The people who should have been weren't.
Yeah. Well, you saw where that Kramer guy that screams all the
Jim
time.
Cramer, yeah.
Yeah, he was like hyping SVB like a couple days before they fell apart.
Yeah, he did that one and the other bank. I forget the name of it. It was in chat. Signature. Both of them, just like a week or two before they collapsed.
Yeah. Well, they have to get away from this idea of bailing everything out.
Yeah.
Whether it's like your entire deposit or, because they guaranteed up to $250,000. And everybody knows that when they put money in. Maybe have more than one account, then you don't have to worry as much. But they have to stop bailing out these big companies and these big banks because now that they all expect it.
What the Fed needs to do, and I know this is going to be contrary to economics, they need to lower rates. Right now it's at like 4.75. They should just take a big jump and just take it back down to 4 and wait and see.
Yeah,
a lot of the inflationary. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They could do what Coolidge did and just sit back and let it ride out.
Could do that too. A lot of the inflationary stuff. I mean, you're not gonna stop it because you raise rates on what the banks borrow from the Fed. Therefore, they have to raise rates on your personal loans and business loans. So, like, they're paying 5% and they charge you 8%, and that's supposed to keep people from. This isn't driven by credit. This isn't. Never mind. Anyway, I'm going to put that one into chat for folks, Jack.
Okay.
There's a lot to it, but yeah, credit ratings getting knocked down is never a good thing. That's just going to make interest even worse. And what does that do? Well, it crashes banks. Whoopsie. All right, where were we? Fuck. Jack, it's not. This shit is predictable.
Look, nobody wants to believe that because they don't know their history and they don't care. They think it won't happen to me.
And even Moody's is saying, "Yeah, guys, this is fucked. There's no getting out of it."
Yeah,
because none of the normal economic model stuff is working. Oh well. No, anonymous gamer, not that Kramer, Jim Cramer, not the one from Seinfeld. Entirely different Kramer. This one, as far as I know, has never gone on a racist rant.
Yeah, he's never been funny. Not
People
like real Kramer.
People with dyslexia shouldn't be forced to turn up to work on. Oh God. Shouldn't be forced to turn up to work on time. Employment judge rules. People with dyslexia should not be forced to turn up to work on time. Employment judges ruled after a security guard accused his bosses of discrimination. Raymond Joseph Bryce said he has been discriminated against after he told bosses his dyslexia meant he would be late for his own. Does dyslexia make it so you can't read a clock?
Apparently. Apparently it makes you incredibly late for stuff. In which case, I have a few exes that were incredibly dyslexic.
He said his condition meant he was disorganized and that he often misreads his alarm clock in the morning.
It's a digital alarm clock. How much you want to bet? Instead of it's 12:17, he thinks it's 71:21.
Mr. Bryce insisted he would always be late and asked his managers for leeway in turning up 15 to 20 minutes late. But after a string of incidences, they abruptly stopped offering him shifts. You weren't showing up for him, fucknut.
Yeah. They should have started telling him, okay, you have to be here at noon. No, you have to be here at 11:45, and he really is scheduled for noon.
No, he
Then he'd
should
be
have
on
taken.
time.
No. I hear what you're saying, but no, this is on him.
Of
If
course
he
it
knows
is.
he's going to be 15 minutes late,
That dude doesn't care.
set your clock 15 minutes earlier.
No, he's operating on his time. You bigot.
The security guard from Stafford, West Midlands, accused them of discrimination and a failure to make reasonable adjustments for his disability. All right.
My constant tardiness is a disability.
This is overseas somewhere. This is what, Britain?
I believe it's UK, yeah.
Yeah. Here in the United States, let me explain what happens to you if you're in an hourly job and you show up late. The person you're covering has to stay longer. And in many cases, you're running your people as close to that 40 hours as you can without going over, so you're not paying overtime. And you being late forces overtime. It's not just you being late. Haha, I'm dyslexic, you fucking retard. Mr. Bryce's claims have now been upheld by an employment tribunal in Nottingham, which concluded his dyslexia made it difficult for him to wake up early, plan ahead, and read the time. He's now in line for compensation.
Compensation, the mantra of the filthy peasantry working class that want to take advantage of the system.
He knows he has this problem. It's not like he just discovered it. He should have been setting his alarm clock earlier.
They should have been giving him free stuff, monkey.
Look, I just have trouble waking up in the mornings, Jack, and largely because I have trouble getting to sleep at a nighttime schedule. So what I would do is set my alarm clock half an hour earlier than I actually needed to be up. And that way, I was up and at work on time most of the time. Hashtag not all. Mr. Bryce blamed his dyslexia in the time of year as the weather was cold, frosty, and snowy, so travel could be disrupted. Giving evidence to the panel, he said, I will always be late with my disability. I'm not intentionally late. I will try to be on time, but no matter how I plan it fails, I'm going to be late for my own funeral. I'm late for everything. I don't foresee dangers. I'm like a rabbit in the headlight. What the fuck does that mean?
Means he's not bothering to change his habits at all. And he's disorganized and doesn't want to change it. Not even trying.
He explained his dyslexia meant he often reads the numbers on his digital alarm clock
I told
wrong.
you, digital.
And resultantly believes he has more time. He said he struggles to wake up early for shifts and that the long hours made him feel overwhelmed. You're fuck off, you pussy ass bitch.
Yeah, he's bad with time management. And he's probably easily distracted, so he loses track of how long he's taken to do a task. I'm easily distracted as well. I understand. But at the same time, grow the fuck up, dude.
Mr. Bryce has Asperger's syndrome as well, because of course he does.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't he?
Claimed that he sticks to inflexible routines and that his anxiety goes through the roof if he breaks them. Wait. You can't get to work on time, but you have inflexible routines.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot at the wall here. What he's really saying is, I don't handle change well, and I refuse to make the effort because it makes me anxious. Well, if once he adapts to it, it won't make him anxious anymore, but that's beside the point. It's an excuse, not a reason.
The panel, led by employment judge, I'm not saying anything here. I'm just going to throw this out. Rachel Broughton ruled in favor of his claim of discrimination arising from a disability. They also supported his complaint that the firm failed to make reasonable adjustments to accommodate it.
That's such horse shit.
The panel ruled that the Century Consulting saw Mr. Bryce's timekeeping as a problem and did not offer him further shifts after he requested flexibility over his start time. I hate people that have never actually had to do managerial stuff.
Yep.
Because they have no concept.
Anybody that's never had to make a schedule out or follow the budget, yeah, it's irritating.
We conclude that Mr. Bryce's disability had a number of long-term effects on his normal day-to-day activities. He was inhibited in his ability to read, write, and understand information. So he's a retard. He's not dyslexic or Asperger's. He's a retard.
Yeah, because dyslexic people can still read or learn to.
Yeah.
Asperger's people can read. I worked with several of them. Stop trying to make everybody into a fucking retard, you guys. They're really trying to make people with Asperger's into helpless victims.
This is asinine.
Of course it is. Why
Jesus
else would I put it in
Christ.
the queue? I put in things that annoyed me and things I thought would annoy you.
I'm dyslexic.
Yeah,
I swear. You know, I'm a little disappointed in that article. It didn't tell us what color the helmet he was wearing was.
Pretty sure it was a nice polished white. But yeah, they're really saying is if you have Asperger's, never try and challenge yourself, and don't try and succeed at life because it's just too hard. And I think that's disgusting.
My brother has Asperger's and is an idiot savant. Asperger's, just like all of the spectrum of autism, is overdiagnosed. It's amazing how many people have Asperger's. Like, did you go to a doctor? No, I read it online.
Yeah, when I was working in mental health about 20 years ago, Asperger's was incredibly rare. Like, I think we had 4 kids with Asperger's, and they were really borderline except for one. And that kid could still read and write. There's obviously like variations on it, but for fuck's sake, everybody's got this stuff now. It's what ADHD was back then. Now it's autism, and Asperger's is a subset of autism. So
this pisses me off with my mental health stand. Look, man, it's the problem with psychology, man. They can make anybody have anything.
Yeah, and true. Psychologists are quick to try and jump on trends, just like other people are, because they want to feel special too. And oh my gosh, you fit all these markers that I forced you into. Just because you're mildly socially awkward, you must have the tism.
Everybody's got the tism.
Everybody's got the tism.
Look, I am deadly serious when I say I do think I have mild dyslexia. I've always had trouble retaining information that I read. I have to read it 2 or 3 times, or it's not so bad anymore, but especially as a child. And it's because I could read it and none of it would stay. Literally, none of it would stay with me. And I'd have to concentrate over and over. Even if you do have actual, they've confirmed you have dyslexia, you know what they do? They don't go, well, I guess you're fucked. They actually have teaching methods to help people with dyslexia so that they can learn to read and write like normal people.
Yep. But this is learned helplessness now that we're saying, oh nope, you're helpless, you can't adapt, you're special people, so you're a dummy dumb.
You ever see the Cosby Show where Theo's failing again and his dad comes to give him some shit, and Theo gives this really impassioned speech about how he's trying and his parents need to understand he really is trying, and cut him a little bit of slack. And Cosby looks at him and goes, basically tells him, shut the fuck up with that stupid shit. We need a lot more of that. We need more of the power of no. Serious. You're not that guy we just read about. You're just a lazy piece of shit, okay? You're just a lazy piece of shit. End of story. And that's not true for all dyslexics or all people with Asperger's, but it is absolutely true for that motherfucker.
Yeah, and maybe he's got those things. That's fine. But he doesn't want to change.
I don't think he has them. I think he's one of these people, And I would almost guarantee it that he had parents who he has the tism, and they told everybody anywhere they could meet it. It became his crutch.
Yep. Well,
And
that's what we have a lot of now.
tons of it, yes.
It's the parents get a little pat on the back because they're so brave for having a special little guy.
Yep.
Ugh, it's disgusting. Some of that Munchausen by proxy shit that women learn, because it's usually
Dude.
women.
My mom basically told me to stop being a pussy and man up.
Well, yeah. Well,
That was when I was having an asthma attack. True story.
Well, yeah, you have to learn to cope with what's wrong with you. We've all got problems, but you have to learn to adapt.
Yep. My mom told me, hey, you can't use this as a crutch your whole life. You still have to go on about what you're doing.
Yeah, you have to integrate into society, and you're never going to succeed if you're constantly like, oh, I'm oppressed. Yeah, you're always going to fail then because you've convinced yourself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
What was his walking off pussy? She didn't actually say pussy, but she probably should have. And she was right. I was over-exaggerating it. I was having a little trouble breathing, Jack. It was just a little tight. I was fine. I had my inhaler. She's like, you need to, yeah. That is a very memorable day. All right, this is some stupid shit. New report says crash test dummies are not diverse enough.
Yeah.
A new government report is calling out crash test dummies for their lack of diversity. According to the Government Accountability Office, crash test dummies do not represent enough American population, including women and seniors. They also said the dummies don't adequately represent all body sizes.
Yeah, we got to have fatties.
The report states that male dummies weigh 171 pounds, while the average man weighs 191. It also mentions the physiological differences between men and women in the models. The approved height and weight of crash test dummies approved by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is based on decades-old data.
When people were thinner.
Dummies first used in 1986 were designed to represent the mid-sized American man and is now actually closer to the mid-sized American woman.
Lose some weight, fatties.
You know, and we've talked about this, about how, no, we just can't lose the weight. We have become fatter.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that report really says, Jack, is we're way fatter than we need to be.
Yeah, but we also need old people in the whammons as crash test dummies.
In the last, 35 years, according to that, the average weight of men has gone up 20 pounds.
Yeah.
20.
More, sometimes more because, fatties.
Well, just the average weight, Jack.
Yeah, sadly.
And that also means the average weight of women probably went up about the same amount. So, yeah, we need to stop eating so goddamn much and get up and move more.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work, monkey.
And that's a fucking cripple telling you to do it. Get off your fucking ass.
But that'll take me away from this box of Twinkies I'm working hard on.
Look, man, I don't respect Twinkies. They're dry and nasty.
No, they're gross.
I mean, I do want to watch this video. I just don't know that there's an opportunity for me to interrupt enough. Thank you, Frost.
Skip it if you want.
No, I do want to talk about it, especially the end. Can't go through the windshield if I'm bigger than it. I mean, there is that. There is that. All right, so
say thank you, Frosted.
Oh, thank you, Frosted. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. I was just thinking about what he said. He's kind of got a point.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're that big, how do you get in the car? Because there's not that the door area is not that big either.
I was gonna say, if you need the jaws of life to get into the car,
yeah,
like it probably is protected. You probably don't even need a seatbelt at that point, right?
Maybe you just get a minivan and go in the sliding door.
You're not going anywhere if that thing hits something.
Yeah, well, immovable object, irresistible force. I don't know. I don't know
You
how
got
that
those
works out.
2 or 3 chins that act as an airbag for you.
We don't mean the Chinese kind.
All right, this goddamn video. All right,
Have you seen this? I know I
watched
sent
it.
it to you, but I didn't know if you watched it.
Did you not read my DMs?
Yeah, I didn't see anything from you, but
Scroll
there it
back
is.
up, bitch.
Scrolling up is hard.
Yeah, I responded. I actually made a couple of comments. One that we'll be repeating here. All right, guys, this is stupid. I apologize. We didn't make it.
No,
Hello, how are
University
you
of South
today?
Carolina.
Hello, I'm here for my child's appointment. The name is S. Harris.
Date of birth?
8/14/2012.
Great. Before we take you, we just need you to fill out these forms for us.
This is really bad acting.
Oh, it's terrible. Like, this is lower quality than like local car commercials.
Jesus Christ.
Also, can you turn the volume up just a bit?
That's as loud as it goes.
Oh, fuck. Well, I threw the link in the chat so people can watch it.
Well, the important part is louder.
Yeah.
This part is just all he's doing is getting ready to sign his kid in for a doctor's appointment. And we'll get to see him struggle with it here in a second. God, this is so fucking stupid.
You can sit down and bring them back to me when you're done. Thank you.
He's filling it out, you guys. Pronouns: he, him, she, her. Gender identity: it's a fucking 10-year-old child. It says age 10. Legal name: Samuel Harris.
Sam
Do you think they did that on purpose?
I hope so.
But now dad is having trouble. See, I'll find a way to pause this motherfucker, I swear. He's struggling because there's a gender identity, and please circle, do you think of yourself as, and he's filling this out for his child, of course, male, female, transgender female, non-binary, or other. What do you guys think to choose? Dun, 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 dun.
10-year-old. This
10-year-old.
is so disgusting.
He circles male and puts a question mark.
I don't know what my kid's got. Is he got a wiener or a hoo-ha?
Oh, fuck. I laughed so hard when I saw him put the question mark there.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Now they're in the room.
So, Sam, I'd like to ask you a few more questions, if that's okay.
Okay.
All right. Can you tell me, do you feel like a boy, like a girl, like both, or neither? And
Tell me, do you feel like a boy or a girl or both or neither? All right, follow-up question. What does that feel like?
I would also be like, are you a real doctor or are you just trying to confuse my kid? Because
Dude,
I want a real doctor, not whatever mental patient you are.
If I went to a doctor and his ears were fucking gauged, I would get up and leave.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Look, if you guys want to do that to yourself, fine, but I will judge you harshly for it.
Like, if you're like a tattoo artist or a biker or a musician, awesome. That's how I know that you're cool with that. Because, like, I would honestly not go to a tattoo artist if they didn't have like vampire fangs or ear gauges or a bunch of piercings, because it's part of the motif. You're going for an alternative scene. But your doctor, no. I'd be like, there's something weird here, and he's asking weirdo questions like that. You can't tell? You can't tell what my kid is? What kind of fucking doctor are you?
there's no right answer.
No, there's absolutely a right answer. There's absolutely a fucking right answer. You're a doctor. Here, let me help you out. If it's a boy, you don't need to worry about his ovaries. If it's a girl, you don't got to worry about his prostate. There are actual physical differences between men and women. And doctors be like, what's your pronoun? You're a fucking retard.
He was telling me that he's a girl and that he doesn't like boy stuff. So we let him go by the name of Sam, which I like because it could be for a boy or for a girl. I don't know. I think he just wants to be like his big sister.
I'm hearing Tom McDonald in my head right now. I really hope my son doesn't grow up to be my daughter. Oh, you're not supposed to be like that. It's okay to have those feelings.
Well, and this guy might be trying to get his kid some psychological help, and he doesn't know where else to turn.
Yeah,
and
well,
this doctor's gonna fucking feed into this nonsense.
This actor who's playing the dad here clearly doesn't know what to do with this child.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Dad, I told you, I'm a girl.
I'm sorry, honey.
I keep getting confused by that penis I saw when you were born.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand.
Thank you for sharing that. I would like to ask Sam. So what do you say, Sam?
I'm a girl.
How long have you known your...
Again, where's the follow-up? How do you know? What does it...
He has a follow-up.
No.
It's gender affirming care, monkey. You don't question their true intentions.
Once again, your doctors are not there to affirm the stupid shit you believe.
I'm telling you, there's going to be pushback on this shit, and some idiot is going to off a bunch of these gender affirming weirdos.
You're a girl.
I don't know, but a long time.
So when we're talking about you...
10-year-olds known they've been a girl for a long time.
How long's a long time to a 10-year-old? Like 50 minutes? Because you ever been in a car ride with a kid? Oh my God, are we there yet? I'm bored.
Kyle says I fucking hate... Oh, wait. There is a payoff at the end of this that is fucking hilarious. They made a mistake that is awesome. Just hang in there. I promise. It's worth it.
Hang on real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Bad acting is great. It's funny, but this shit is forced acting. They aren't funny or good. It's just a way to speak lines. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are like staffers they had on hand. Like, all right, you're a doctor. I'm a janitor. Today you're a doctor. You're a dad. Somebody got a kid.
Wait, what, Jen? It's worse. Some of the worst imams caught on to that TikTok Muslim lady who was calling out Jeffrey Marsh. Oh, what they did to that woman is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I missed a donation a moment ago. Let me make sure I didn't. I just got one, and that reminded me that I had put one off for a couple of minutes, and then I don't remember if I read it. Oh, no, I did. Okay. Keldrick, thank you. If my hypothetical son told me he was a girl, I'd laugh in his hypothetical face and say no. Yeah, I hear you.
Time.
So when we're talking about you, would you like for us to say he or she?
She.
Nice pause game, by the way.
Thanks. Kind of fits his caged ears, really. This fucking stupid shit. Anyway.
This gender affirming crap is so dangerous, man.
It is.
Thanks.
In this scenario, the registration form provided an opportunity for the parent to share his child's name, pronouns, and gender identity.
Wait. Jack?
Monkey?
In this scenario, the registration form provided an opportunity for the parents to share his child's name, pronouns, and gender identity.
This helped
inform the provider in asking follow-up questions with Sam and his parents.
Huh. Whoopsie doodle. See if they can't keep their nonsense straight.
When you accidentally misgender your bullshit made-up trans kid. I feel like this hospital should issue an apology.
Like this hospital's going to get sued into oblivion once one of these kids goes on a murder spree.
For fuck's sake.
This is barbaric, man. Feeding into delusions like this, so unhealthy.
Oh, it's asinine, man. It's they're harming these kids.
Yeah.
You know, I got into I can't see this one, Jack. Oh yeah, I can. Okay.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. The only way to redeem this acting is if the doctor asks, "Do you feel like a boy or a girl or just a little chicken?" Cheap, 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 cheap. I see what you did there.
All right. And finally tonight, actually, Jack, there's something else I want to talk about, but I forgot all about it earlier. I'll have to tell you about it offline.
Okay.
We're gonna watch a retard tomorrow if I remember to.
Oh, like a real one? Is he gonna do funny stuff?
No, it's a dude who claims to be non-binary.
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, let's I didn't. All right, blow this up. Mr. Kitty. What are you doing to this poor cat?
Because now it's a game.
It's Phoebe. Yep. Been there. Yep. Kitty cat's playing now.
Thank you, Frank. I just watched Peterson's interview with the detransitioner. It was disturbing. May have missed it since I'm working, but have y'all talked about the unconstitutional executive order?
Which unconstitutional executive order?
Yeah, there's been quite a few. It's probably the gun one. I'm not sure.
If there's a new one that he just released, no. Put the cat outside the door and close it. I mean,
cats don't abide by the laws of nature. It'll just fold itself under the door.
Phoebe was locked out of a room today, and so she tore up the carpet in front of the door.
Yeah, she was trying to dig under the door.
That cat's adorable, by the way.
I know, isn't it?
As this progresses, when she first was doing it, she was pulling him off nicely, and saying, now she's like flicking him off.
Yeah. She just makes him more determined.
Yep. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, anti-Second Amendment one, saw Colin Noir talking about it. We discussed it when it was first done. That was, a week or two ago?
I think so.
Cute, but staged? I mean, how do you mean staged?
She could have put the cat outside.
I mean, yeah, but she probably knew this would happen, and that's not exactly staged. Letting it happen is not the same as staged. Guy's like, no, fuck you. I love this cat.
Yeah, we're their pets. They're not our pets.
Yeah, that cat don't give a shit. Yeah. That's my life right now. Phoebe, she does whatever she wants. Anyhow, yeah.
I just thought it'd be a funny way to end the show.
Oh no, that's great. That was awesome. Yeah, so kitty cats are evil, but they're cute as shit. She knows the cat does it, so set up the cam for it. Oh yeah. But again, that's not the same as staged like the woman in the towel earlier. That's staged.
That was so fucking fake.
This was, I have a cat that's a pain in the ass and I can get internet famous for it. That's not staged. That's just knowing your cat.
Yeah, I found this more respectable than the other one.
Making my bed with Phoebe is just a pain in the ass. Because not only does she go and lay on it, as you try to straighten the sheets, she takes that as a bull with a red flag or red cape being waved in front of it.
Yeah.
She's like, it's playtime. And she plays hard. She plays rough. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Jack, you said you had a dream you wanted to mention.
Yeah. So I had a really weird dream and I wanted to share. I thought about doing these as like little segments on my channel, but I'm too lazy. So I had this weird dream that I was going back to college and I was forced into a apartment-style dorm, and Joe Biden was my roommate.
Oh,
it gets so much worse because this is fucked up. He kept trying to dock with me. Like, he'd come in my room naked and be like, dude, we should dock. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And
what?
I was, what?
He wanted to dock with you?
Yeah, that's where you put your wieners together.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want to dock with you. I'm not gay. And he's like, you are gay. And he kept trying to tell me I was gay. And the only way he'd believe me is if I got a woman pregnant. So we went out to McDonald's to meet women. And I ran into a girl I knew in high school. And I was like, look, I need to get rid of Joe Biden. So I need to get you pregnant. She's like, okay. But first we have to eat. You have to buy me McDonald's. So I said, okay. Well, we go up to the counter and they were having special Halloween containers of like spooky ghosts and a pumpkin head on a like headless horseman as like collector cups. And I was like, oh, I want one of those. So I got one with a milkshake in it. And they said, well, we had this special promotion. And my big fear here was that I wasn't going to be able to afford the food to get this chick to let me put a baby in her because of my money was low in my bank account. And I was afraid of overdrafting. But they had this deal with this collector cup. And then they gave me a special pair of pants for free that were like this magenta purple color with hamburgers all over them. And they had little chicken nuggets where your balls would be. But they were a free thing if you bought 2 meals with the collector cups. So I got them, and the lady hands me the pants, and I immediately put them on. And Joe Biden's like, I can't compete with this. Fine, I'm out. Because everybody was hitting on me because I had the special pants with hamburgers on them.
Okay, I'm not a professional at this, but this dream sounds like you're worried about money and that you're going to have to start turning gay tricks if it doesn't get better.
No, I have to impregnate a woman so Joe Biden doesn't try and rape me.
I'm interpreting the dream.
Oh, I was interpreting it that way, and then I worry about money all the time. But it was I have to get this hot chick that I knew in high school pregnant, so Joe Biden doesn't try and rape my penis.
Anonymous Gamer says, try playing with a playful, innocent cat that doesn't realize its claws are registered as lethal weapons. On my right hand, right at the end of my thumb, there's an X. I have a scar that's an X where Phoebe got me twice and ended up making an X there. Most of the time, Phoebe, probably for the last 6 months, she does not play with her claws. She gets me on accident.
Oh.
Yeah, she does. She keeps her claws retracted. But occasionally, if I'm moving my hand too fast, she'll reach out to grab it and a claw will catch me, and that fucking hurts. She got me on my leg the other day when I was walking by. She just reached up and grabbed me and put a fucking slice in the side of me. I'm there, dude. I'm there. She's getting better. Now with Phoebe, she doesn't understand that she bites hard. Cats learn that biting hurts from playing with other cats, and she wasn't really with her siblings very long. And she's never grown up with another one. So she actually will bite and break skin.
That's mean.
Yeah, she doesn't mean to. She's just playing, but she doesn't understand. And I can't bite her back. I want to some days. On Jack's Weird Dream and My Evil Kitty Cat, we are going to wrap this one up. I'll be over on twitch.tv playing some Phasmophobia on my channel. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank yous. Why not bite her back? You ever seen a long-haired cat? I'm not biting that thing. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind to us, and we really do appreciate it. Jack, anything you want to show out?
Yeah, I'll drop a link to a cool video. Thank you, Keldrick, who says, honestly, in today's world, that sounds like a real event. Well, it was horrifying, except for the pants. I kind of want a pair of like sweatpants with hamburgers on them now.
It feels more like that Hunter Biden should have been the one instead of Joe.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I probably watch it. I tend to leave the radio on, so there was probably like a news update or something that triggered that horror show. You know, like a McDonald's commercial followed by the news break at the top of the hour or something. I don't know. But thank you all for the donations, and thanks for all the support you give us. It is greatly appreciated.
This is all because you didn't put her head in your mouth when you got her. That is true.
Yeah, apparently.
There's only 2 cats I've never done that to. My Patches, who I loved, but also had boundary issues, and her. And she is one of the most evil cats I've ever owned. She's a sweetheart, don't get me wrong. When she's loved, Jack, when I pick her up and hold her, she actually lays her head on my shoulder. And she purrs. And every time you stroke the cat and you bring your hand back up, when the hand touches her again, she lets out a little mew with her purr, and it's the cutest thing. And we'll just sit there for as long as it takes until I put her down. And it's wonderful. And then if she's being bad and I have to scruff her, she turns around and attacks me.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
She's kind of a bitch. I love her, though. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Be over there in just a little while playing some Phasmophobia with our resident hobo, Mr. Bubba Hotep.
Nice.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Boundary issues. Did Patches want to dock? No, not those kind of issues. You're thinking of Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Thank you guys for coming out, hanging out with us. We will see y'all next time.
Hi, everybody.
I don't have a song tonight, but I'm singing anyway. Hearing Jack's dream turned me a little gay.